Today, I'm experiencing to see if compost can improve garden soil quality in a short period. Hi, I'm Tommy from Beggy-PaPa's garden. Imagine you are trying to grow vegetables in your backyard, but the soil is clay like this. How would that affect your plants? For many vegetables, clay soil isn't an ideal environment, right? This is because clay soil has poor drainage, limited oxygen circulation, and is very compacted. As a result, vegetable roots struggle to establish and thrive. To tackle this, I'll be using a plastic container with two main objectives: improving soil quality and capturing worms. Let's see how it turns out. For this experiment, I'm using a 20-liter covered bucket. This bucket is BPA-free and food safety quality, making it environmentally friendly and safe to use. Setting it up is simple. I've marked where I wanted to drill holes and use an electric drill to create them. While carefully measuring and drilling can result in a cleaner and more stylish finish. But I'm not a fussy person, so I did it somewhat roughly. Yes, the holes are now open. The inside of the holes is rough, so I used flail to smooth the surfaces. This should allow worms to move in and out of the compost smoothly. After all, it's all about experimentation. By making the holes near the bottom and sides slightly larger, excess moisture can drain out easily, and air can circulate better. This helps prevent odor by promoting good ventilation. In a previous video, I showed my favorite compost container, but the holes at the bottom were a bit too small. This time, I've made them larger to improve efficiency. Let's set it up in the experimental area. I'm placing the bucket at the edge of the backyard. I've dug holes to fill about 80% of the bucket with clay soil. As you can see, the clay soil is very hard. Now, let's set up the bucket. Once it was in place, I filled the gaps around it with the excavated soil. Ensuring the bucket is firmly grounded allows worms to enter through the openings. However, unless the bucket is full, it's unlikely that worms will enter from the sides. The main entry points will be through the holes at the bottom. Next, I'll start adding the excavated soil to the bottom of the bucket. When I squeezed this soil by hand, it easily formed hard balls. This indicates that the soil isn't rich in organic matter. Once a sufficient amount of soil is in the bottom, I add kitchen scraps and try to make them as fine as possible. The finer they are, the faster the decomposition process will proceed. After that, I covered the scraps with more soil. However, I made a mistake here by watering the compost. It seems I shouldn't have done that because The clayey soil already had a high moisture content, and the vegetable scraps were frozen. This resulted in excessive moisture within the compost. Clearly, it's overwatered, but there's nothing I can do about it now, so I'll proceed as it. After closing the lid and placing a weight on top, the setup is completed. Here is excavated soil. As you can see, there are no roots below 10 centimeters from the surface. This clearly indicates that the soil is unsuitable for crop cultivation, doesn't it? 1 week later, the compost is in a terrible state. The moisture was too high. Decomposition hasn't progressed much. And most importantly, there are no worms. If this were my first compost, I would probably be too shocked to continue. The good point is that the compost wasn't completely soaked with rainwater, even though there was heavy rainfall in the area last week, which I was a bit worried about. The plan moving forward is to leave this compost untouched for a while and only occasionally stir it to observe how it develops. A month has passed since I first audited the kitchen scraps. Compared to the previous check, the composition has indeed progressed. The compost has darkened and the moisture levels have decreased. However, the clay soil remains hard and the eggshells I added are still intact. Crucially, there are no signs of worms. This raises several questions. Can worms even survive in clay soil? Can kitchen scraps improve clay soil quality? Based on this experiment, neither seems to be the case. What has been your experience? Therefore, I have decided to set aside the current compost and start a new experiment. In my next video, I'll focus on regularly auditing kitchen scraps without using clay soil to see when worms will appear. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the next experiment. And see you at the next video. Bye.